think so.
Hello. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
I think so.
Good
Yeah.
evening,
Good
sir.
evening, children. How are you?
Sir, good.
Are you all fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me first introduce. I am your tutor for the day, and today we'll be dealing with. Hello. Hello.
Sir, yeah, you're not audible.
Hello. Am I audible, children?
Sir.
Yeah, children. I feel like there is someone of you. I mean, at the background, there is some cartoon playing on. Okay. So please keep yourself muted. So let me tell you first about this platform. So you'll be having 4 5 options. First, you will be having this audio video option. It's a request from my side that please keep yourself muted, and if possible, try to keep your video on so that we can interact while seeing each other. Then you will be having that troubleshoot option. So in case you face any technical issues, you can go to this troubleshoot option and get it sorted. Again, you also have this chat box. As I messaged you all in that chat box. So in that chat box, if you feel like any doubts or queries or to answer my question or anything like that, you can use that chat box to interact with me. Then there is one more option called a hand raise option. So in case you feel like there is technical issues, you need to ask any doubt, or I am in the flow of my session, then at that time you can use that hand raise option, and I will take up a comfortable pause and then answer your questions. Okay. Now coming to your attendances, I can see most of you are very consistent, very consistent. So yeah, it's very nice to see most of you having 100% attendance. Only one, Subhasri, is having 2 days absence. All other at max I can see only 1 day's absence, but it's very nice to see you all in this attendance manner. Okay, children. Then I am also comfortable with both English and Hindi. So in case you feel like you need to ask something in Hindi also, you can go on and ask it to me. Okay. And now before beginning the session, let me
Yes,
first,
sir.
yeah, I mean, ask something pardon for you, as you may be having experiencing some background noise at my end. Actually, there is some issues, and that's why I need to change my workspace. And that is why only for today you may face some minimal background noise. So is it all okay till now, or it was disturbing you? I mean, the background noise is all okay, or
It's okay.
The voices are not
okay,
coming.
okay, okay, fine, fine, fine. Thank you, thank you. Now let's begin with the session. This is your second session, no? This is your second session. Now let's begin. Uh, Let me first tell you all about this cell. So you all know cell is the basic structure and functional unit of life, and all living things are made up of cells. Now, as this is second session, let's first recall what we all learned in our previous session. So we learned that the cells are structural and functional unit, and as you all know that all the living organisms are made up of cells, and that is why we call it as a structural unit. And then all the functions begin at the level of cell, and then it is also known as functional unit. Okay. And it is also known as biological unit, as anything less than a cell does not has its independent existence. If you remove anything from a cell, that entity will not survive. So cell is the basic requirement for life, and that is why we say it in NCERT, I mean NCERT in higher classes, that anything less than a cell does not has its independent existence. Okay. Now, the cell was first observed by Robert Hooke. He was a scientist and he observed cells under his self-made microscope from cork. So cork is actually the name of the part of a plant. Cork is a part of plant in the stem of plant. Okay,
Sir,
so
cork is a part of a branch of a tree which comes by cutting it.
no, cork is like this. Look at this.
A
If this is
tree.
a transverse section of a stem, the cells in between, I mean the layer, there is a layer in between that stem, and that layer is known as cork. Actually, you will learn more about this cork in detail in your higher classes, but at your level you might know that, you can keep in mind that it is a part of a stem, and sometimes also in branch, as you said, but it is only when the branches are older. Younger branches do not contain this cork. Okay. So he observed the first cell in cork, but unfortunately, that was a dead cell. That cork cell was a dead cell. So it was Anton von Leeuwenhoek who first observed the living cell, and again from his self-made microscope only. Okay, and he called those cells as animalcules. Okay, he named those cells as animalcules. Now, the development of microscopes and discovery of the cell, all this event in 1665 inspired the scientific community to think more about it, and this paved the way for the creation of three postulates of cell theory. So these are the three scientists who created that cell theory, who postulated that cell theory. It was first Sliden and Swan who formulated the cell theory. And again, after some time, there was Rudolf Virchow who added one more postulate to that cell theory to complete the cell theory. The three major postulates of the cell theory are: all living organisms are made of cells, cell are the fundamental unit of life, and all cells arise from pre-existing cells. So these are the 3 points or 3 postulates of the cell theory. Got it, children? Or any doubts over here? If there is any doubt, you can ask it to me. No? Yeah, Ayush, you are trying to say
Sir.
something. Is there any doubt? No? Okay. Then let's move to the next part. So this is the basic parts of a cell, as I explained. So the cell is demarcated in 3 parts. This is the outermost boundary over here. Then the middle boundary. I mean the middle portion, not that middle boundary. And this is the inner boundary. So the cell can be broadly divided into 3 regions: the outer boundary, the middle region, and the core area. The core area of the cell, as you can see here, it contains, I mean, this is nucleus. Okay, Ayush? Okay. Yeah. Subhasis, do you have any doubt? I can see that you have unmuted yourself. No, okay. Yeah, Subhasis, I feel like there is some doubt. As I cannot hear you, so if you are trying to say something, use that chat box. I cannot hear you. Yeah. So let's move on to the next part also again. So this is the innermost part known as the nucleus. It contains the genetic material, and the genetic material is mostly DNA. Even in our case, it is always DNA. Then comes the outermost portion. So the outermost portion is made by Subhasis. Outermost portion is made by the cell membrane, as you can see here. Cell membrane is the outermost portion of the cell, and it acts as a boundary between that cell and the outer surrounding. Okay, and the area between this inner portion of nucleus and the outer portion of cell membrane is called cytoplasm. And this cytoplasm is the main arena of cellular activities. This cytoplasm is the main arena of cellular activities in which all the life processes is occurring. Okay, so it provides the space for all the reactions of the cell to keep it alive. Okay, now let's solve some question, and then we'll be moving to the doubt board to take up your doubt. So the question is, why are nerve cells long and have branches? Okay, so now you all know that nerve cells, yeah, Roma.
Sir, as nerve cells has to transmit messages very fast, they are long.
Okay, anything else? Okay, so as Roma said, then I mean the main function of this nerve cell. Okay, there is one more name of this nerve cell. It is also known as neuron. You can keep it in mind if you are not knowing this. So this neuron actually has a function to transfer all the messages from all our nervous system, either from brain or from our spinal cord to all the parts of body. So this all is done with the help of this neuron, and as it is I mean communicating with all the other parts of the body, it needs to be longer so that it can move on faster and cover more long distances. Okay, so this is the main reason why due to which these nerves are long, and they are branched as they need to transfer information with many other sources as well. Okay, so this is the main reason why they are branched and they are long. Now the cells can be of many shape. Okay, sometimes it is branched, as you can see, in the form of neuron. It can be oval as that of RBC, or sometimes maybe you can say that what other shape you can call it as oval.
The
You
flexibility of
call long.
WBC.
Yeah, WBC. They have, I mean, you can say that there is no fixed shape in this WBC. WBC can be of any shape according to that need. Okay, they can change their shape, and the cells in which the shape is not fixed is known as pleuromorphic. Pleuromorphic. This is something extra, but you need to keep it in mind that there is something called pleuromorphic, and this pleuromorphic shape is shape which is not fixed. It can change shape according to its need. Okay, pleuromorphic. Let me write it again. Pleuromorphic. Okay. Now, any doubts till now? Any doubts, children?
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yeah, Akhil and Somli, you all unmuted. So, any
Y-
doubt?
Sir, sir,
Uh
I
huh.
mean the cells which are able to change their shapes and they don't have any fixed shape, they are called pleuromorphic, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, sir.
yeah. Others, do you also have some doubt, or should I move on?
Then we can move on.
Okay.
Can move.
Okay. So this was all our revision part. Now I'll be moving in today's session. And in today's session, we will all discuss that how the cell transports substances across the cell membrane, and how they take in oxygen, water, and other minerals required for cell functioning. And we will also see that how does a cell membrane looks like. Okay. So let's again recall that previous part, and then in continuation we'll moving to the next session. I mean in today's session. So this is the structure of cell membrane. Cell membrane is actually made up of phospholipid bilayer. Phospholipid means it is made up of two things: phosphoric acid and then lipid. Lipid is something like fat, and it is called bilayer because this phospholipid is actually here in two layers like this. Look at this. These are the two layers in which this phospholipid layer is situated, and that is why it is called phospholipid bilayer. This cell membrane encloses the components of a cell and protects it from the outer environment. Okay. Now it acts like a gate. For example, if it is a room and I am inside it, so there must be a gate through which I am coming in and coming going out of this room. So this cell membrane actually is that wall including that gate. Again, this cell membrane is actually that wall. Like this is a wall, including that gate. Means at most of the places it is impermeable, but at some places there are also spaces for entry and exit. So the gates over here is this transport protein. Okay, this helps in transport of molecules inside and outside this membrane. Yes, Somli, ask you doubt.
Sir, please explain the term phospholipid bilayer in a more elaboration way.
Okay, phospholipid bilayer means this layer. This actually is in two layer. That is why it is called bilayer. And phospholipid because it is made up by two things: phosphoric acid and lipid. Okay, that is why it is called phospholipid bilayer. Got it?
Directly.
Yeah. Subhashis, you are
Sir,
trying to say
why,
something.
sir, why it,
Wait. Subhashis, you are trying to say something.
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ କ୍ଲାସ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଏପଟ ସେପଟ ମନେ
Yeah, Somli. Now you can ask it out. What were you saying?
yes, sir. Sir, as you told that phospholipid bilayer is a two layers it is having and it is made up of phosphoric acid and lipid.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
sir, why it contains phosphoric acid and what is the meaning of lipid in this term?
Okay, so I cannot explain at your level that what is the use of this phosphoric acid here, but I can say you what is this lipid. Lipid is something like fat. Okay, you will get to know more deeply in this structure in your higher classes. I mean, in class 11th. At your level, you need to learn only this thing. Not two acid
Sir,
arrow. It is
okay, sir.
phosphoric acid, and the other one is lipid. It is not acid. Okay, arrow. We'll be learning more deeply about all this in our higher classes in class 11th.
Sir, we can say that lipids are the fats or the oily substance which are present in the cell according to our age, like according to our class.
No, okay. Actually, lipid is not only like it is. I mean, you cannot say it so simply. There is, it is much more complex thing. At your level, you can only understand that it is something like fat, not made up of fat. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So now we all know about this transport protein. It is acting like a gate, and then phospholipid bilayer. Now, yes, Shamli, if there is more doubt, you can ask, or if there is no more doubt, you can put down your hands. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Done. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Now let's move on to the next part, and here it is. So the question is that if it is, I mean, a boundary, if that cell membrane is a boundary, is it allows everything to enter in and go out of this cell? So the answer is no. It doesn't allow anything to go in and out of the cell. Actually, there are three types of membrane on the basis of this permeability. So the first one is impermeable. If it does not allows anything to enter or go out of it, it is known as impermeable. Anything cannot cross through it is known as impermeable. Then it comes the selectively permeable. So selectively permeable is a type of cell membrane which allows the entry and exit of molecules through it, but according to demand. I mean, anything cannot enter or exit from this selectively permeable membrane. It is like, if I mean, like if I feel like I need some more people in my room, I will allow that. Okay, come in. So if my demand is fulfilled, I will allow some other human, like, no, you cannot come in. This is what same me is allowing that human to come in, and same me is allowing that human to stay back. All this is done according to my need, and this type of membrane is called selectively permeable membrane. Okay. Then comes the freely permeable membrane. So this freely permeable membrane is a type of membrane which allows anything to cross through it, either to come inside the cell or to go out of the cell. Okay. Now again, let's see how this transport occurs. So different, yeah, Subhasri. Yeah, Subhasri, ask your doubt.
Yes. So I have it out that sir, is semi-permeable and the selectively permeable are same?
No, no, it is not same. There is difference. Okay. Uh, Now again, you will be learning that difference in higher classes, but at your level, still at your level also, you cannot say that they both are same. They are different. But what is that difference exactly? You will be learning it in higher classes. Okay. Was it all fine till here, Subhasri?
Actually, sir,
Yeah. If you
sir, can you please please tell something about the semi-permeable membrane?
okay, 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 okay. I'll be coming to your doubts. I mean, after this. So you need to ask about semi-permeable membrane, na? So this semi-permeable membrane is a membrane that will allow, I mean, certain molecules to pass through it. Okay, but I mean, like, it will all only allow that solvent particle. We'll be learning about solvent and solute and this session only. So it will be allowing only solvent particle to go through it. Okay, not solute particles, and that is why it is known as semi-permeable membrane. While in selectively permeable membrane, anything, either solute or solvent, can be allowed according to need, and it can be restrained back to enter inside the cell according to our need. For example, if I am a cell and I am in demand of NaCl, I will allow NaCl to come inside me. But the same me, if I have adequate amount of NaCl in my body, I will allow that same NaCl to not come inside my cell. And this again, NaCl can come in, NaCl cannot come in. The same me can stop or allow it. This is what known as selectively permeable, allowing according to the need. While semi-permeable, that anything solvent can come in and solute cannot. Now, is it all fine, Subhasri? Subhasri, if there is no doubt, you can put down your hands, and if there is, you can still ask. Yeah. Now I'm coming to you Somni later on, but first let me take up the doubt of Ayush. So Ayush is asking that, sir, human cells comes under which type of permeable membrane? Okay, we have selectively permeable membrane. Selectively permeable membrane. Got it? Now, yes, Somli, it's your turn.
I just wanted to ask that
Somli,
can you
ask your
repeat
doubt.
the yes sir. Sir, I just wanted to ask that can you repeat the answer of this question, that why are neurons, I mean the nerve cells, are structured like very long and branch type?
Okay, so these neurons need to transfer the information from that nervous system to all other cells, all the other parts of body. And as you can see in our electrical circuits, what happens is that if we need to transfer that electricity to each and every switch and each and every bulb or fan or anything like that, we need to branch our wires. That is why our neurons are branched, and they are long as they need to cover more distance. For example, the electrical power is generated at some different power stations, and with the help of long thicker wires, they are transferred to our homes. Why these wires are thicker? As these wires are thicker, as they need to cover up more distance. In the same way, in our body also, our neurons need to cover up very large distance. No, Ayush, our cell is not semi-permeable membrane. It is selectively permeable. Okay, so to cover up the large distances, these neurons are longer. Okay, mind it one more thing. Our cell wall. Okay, we'll be dealing it later. Let it be for now. We'll be dealing it in this session only. Okay, so different molecules pass through the membrane in different ways. Look at this. Some molecules requires energy to get inside the cell or get out of it, or some molecules can be transferred without the use of energy. For example, just take it this image as a reference. To cover up this much distance, you need to apply more energy, you need to paddle harder, isn't it? This is what you call as active transport. Means the movement is occurring but with the help of energy, and energy is used in the form of ATP. I guess you might have learned this name, ATP. ATP is the energy currency of the cell.
Yes, sir.
Anyone knows this full form of ATP? Anyone?
Sir,
Sir,
at
I
the
know triphosphate.
phosphate.
Yes,
Person
it
triphosphate.
is adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate. So this adenosine triphosphate is actually type, I mean, the energy currency which is required in active transport. Now, in passive transport, there is no requirement of energy, as you can see over here. Look over here. Here is
Excuse
a
me, sir.
bicycle, and when it is coming down, there is no requirement of energy. Yeah, Somli. Again, any doubts?
Sir, no requirement of energy, like that means the components which will get inside the cell, they will not require any energy. Like likewise, they can move and go.
Actually, it is not like they would not give us energy. I am saying about that it is there is no requirement of energy to transfer it inside our cell. I mean, if I need to transfer this pen from here to here, it will if it is requiring energy to for transferring this pen, I don't know what is the use of this pen. I'm not talking about the use of this pen. I'm only talking that to take in this pen from this side to this side. If it requires energy, this is active transport, and if it is not requiring energy, this is passive transport. Only like that. It is not like that. What is the use of this? Is it of any use or not? It is not like that. Got it? Yeah. So now let's look over it in detail. All this active and passive mode of transport. So first we'll be dealing about this passive transport. So the movement of substances across the cell along the concentration gradient without any external energy. If there is no requirement of energy, then this all is known as passive transport. If there is no requirement of energy, then this all is known as passive transport. So the movement of substances across a cell along the concentration gradients. This is important. Along the concentration gradient means there is like if this is a cell, and these are the two components of a cell, or maybe like this is one cell and this is second cell. So if NaCl is higher, if NaCl is higher in this side and lower in this side, so there is a difference in concentration in these two sides. So the movement of this NaCl would take up of its own from this higher concentrated side of NaCl to this lower concentrated side of NaCl, and this type of movement is known as along concentration gradient. From higher to lower is known as along concentration gradient, and this all occurs anywhere without the use of energy, and this is known as passive transport. Got it? Osmosis. We'll be coming to osmosis later on. Just wait for 2-3 minutes more. Now, just look over here. So, it may be like you might have made green tea in your house. So, what you do is that you only warm up that water and then put the tea bag into that hot water. And you feel like that after 2-3 minutes or something like that, that flavor or that aroma of that tea in that tea bag moves to that water, isn't it? So, how does this movement takes place? So mind it,
By
there
osmosis.
is always, yeah. I guess Akhil and Somli, you are trying to say something.
Sir, by osmosis.
No, this is not osmosis.
Sir, may
Okay,
I
I'll be
say?
coming to it. I'll be coming to it.
Sir,
Yeah, Somli.
sir, because the because the hot water which is having the intermolecular spaces between the hot water is having
I
some
got the
space
answer.
inside it. That's why the tea particles can enter it and they can mix and dissolve.
Okay, the correct answer, I mean the one word answer to this is, it is due to diffusion. Now, what is this diffusion? So, diffusion is the movement of molecules from higher concentrated side to lower concentrated side is known as diffusion. Movement of molecules from higher concentrated side to lower concentrated side is known as diffusion. And Akhil, now I'm coming to your osmosis part. So, if that molecule which is moving from higher concentrated side to lower concentrated side is water, then this is known as osmosis. So osmosis is also a type of diffusion. Osmosis is also a type of diffusion in which the diffusing molecule is water. Got it? Osmosis is a type of diffusion in which the diffusing molecule is water. In diffusion, anything can move on from higher concentration to lower concentration. And if that anything is water, if that is water, so water moving from higher concentration to lower concentration is known as diffusion. Got it? Yeah. Ask on your doubts, son.
Only in
Sir,
case of water.
Yes, son. Go on, ask your doubt.
yes, sir. Sir, it's like one molecule goes into the another and gradually it goes on and goes on. And so the color also becomes like this.
Yes. It's diffusion because the molecules which are present in this tea bag is not present in water. So tea bag has higher concentration of that molecule and water has lower concentration. So that molecule moved out from that bag to water following concentration gradient from higher to lower, and this was all due to this process known as diffusion. Got it? Now let's move on to the next part. So this is diffusion. Movement of molecules from higher to lower is known as diffusion, and it that diffusion molecule can either be solid or be gas or even it can be liquid. So diffusion molecule can be solid, liquid or gas, and if it is moving from higher concentration to lower concentration, then this all is known as diffusion. Again, now we are to a question. Let's see. So the question is that which of the following statement is true about passive transport? Passive transport means which does not require energy. So look at over here. Yeah. Answer me. I guess it was San who was trying to answer, or was there any doubt, San?
Number three.
No, sir, I wanted to say the answer.
Okay. So look over here. Yeah. I can see many of you have answered, but again, let me explain. So the first statement is it refers to transport of substance from lower concentration to higher concentration. Wrong. Passive always occurs from higher to lower. Okay, as it doesn't require energy. Then the second one is energy is not required for passive transport. Correct. Then the third one is only oxygen can be transported through diffusion. Wrong. Anything can be transported from higher concentrated side to lower concentrated side, and this is all due to this diffusion. Okay. Now, yeah, let's move on to the next part. So you might have seen that if your parents are making, like pickles, we call it achar in Hindi, achar, and in English it is known as pickles. So the while making actually the mango, I mean the summer season, the acute summers are approaching, and we'll be soon be having mangoes, that raw mangoes which are used in making pickles. So these mangoes are, you might have seen that they are placed in brine solution, isn't it? So what happens is that in brine solution, that mango actually shrinks or swells. What happens here? Anyone?
May I know the meaning
What
of
happens?
brine solution?
Okay. Let me tell you. Brine solution means a concentrated solution of NaCl. This is salt solution. Concentrated salt solution. You might have seen that your parents put down a huge amount of salt in that glass beaker and then put all the mangoes inside it and then keep it in sun. Yeah, Pranav, any doubts?
Sir.
Pranav, any doubts?
I
No?
wanted to answer
Okay.
the question, sir.
Yeah. Ask.
Mangoes, they'll shrink, sir.
Okay. That shrinks. Okay, I'll be coming to it. Now let's see. That shrinks as Pranav said. But do you know why does it shrinks? It shrinks due to a special process of movement of water known as osmosis, as we all discussed just now. 10 12 minutes later earlier, that this osmosis is a process in which water is diffusing from higher concentration of water or to lower concentration of water. Mind it. Let me add on a new slide and then I'll be explaining it. So you all know that solutions are made up of, I'm coming to you, Pranav, solute and solvent. Solutions are made up of solute and solvent. And if the amount of solution is fixed, if it is fixed that this is 5, so 5 can be made by adding 2 to 3, isn't it? 2 plus 3. So if solvent is less, solvent is more, solute is less. But if you reverse the order, if you feel like that, no, I will be increasing that solute particle, so you need to put down the level of solute. So if solute is more, means solvent is less. If solvent is more, then solute is less. This is all about the fixed amount of solution. Okay. Now, let me tell you that osmosis simply means the movement of water molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration. And it can also be said that water moves from a higher concentration of water to lower concentration of water. In the other way, it can say that from lower concentration of solute to higher concentration of solute. Got it? If solute is low, means higher water, and higher water to lower water means higher solute, isn't it? Osmosis can be defined in two ways: movement of water from higher concentration of water to lower concentration of water, or it can also be defined as higher concentration of water to lower concentration of water, or it can also be defined as lower concentration of water to higher concentration of water, like this. If you increase the other one will gets less, gets in low amount by its own. Now let's look about this solution part. As I said, this is a solution, two components, solute and solvent. Solute which is getting dissolved, solute. Solvent which is actually dissolving that solute particle. So if I am dissolving you, you are the solute and I am the solvent. It's like that. And we all as a whole are called solution. And there is one more term, homogeneous mixture. So homogeneous mixture means a mixture having a even concentration of solute. I mean the solute is present in all the parts of solution in an equal manner. Yeah, any doubts? I felt like some of you were having doubts and I said that we'll be taking it later on. Any doubts, children? Any doubts? No?
No, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
So
can
let's
you
move on.
explain? Sir, excuse me, I have a doubt.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, can you explain the active transport?
Okay, the transport of molecules from lower, it actually occurs from lower to higher. We'll be talking about that active transport also. We'll be coming to it. Wait for almost 2-3 more minutes. We'll be coming in active transport in detail only. Okay. So now we are to these three types of solutions: solution 1, solution 2, and solution 3. So look over here. In solution 1, the size of mango was, shrinking, and it was placed in a solution which has higher concentration of solute. In the second one, the size of mango is increasing and the solution has lower concentration of solute. And in the third one, the size of mango is fixed, and in this, the solution has equal concentration of solute. Okay, so there are three types of solution, and we'll be learning about all of them in detail by our master tutor. I feel like there is doubt. Yes, Subhasis, any doubt?
Sir, are we talking about hypotonic, and isotonic right now?
Okay, okay. We'll be dealing just now. Okay. So let me call our master tutor. He'll be dealing about all these types of solution in detail. Yeah, it's your turn, sir.
Let me take a cell here, and over here is exactly the same. It's in equilibrium. Nothing happens. Okay, and this solution outside the cell is called an isotonic solution. You need to remember that word, isotonic. That is not more, not less. What if the water content is more outside? Then water will rush into the cell, bloat it up, and it can burst, right? Can this happen in us humans? Not really, but this is likely in organisms with a cell wall like a plant. So do plant cells burst? Not really. What's going to happen is plants additionally have special organelles called vacuoles. I'll get to that in detail, a bit later, which store water. Now, when the cell swells up due to all the extra water in it, the vacuole exerts a pressure against the cell wall. And then the wall exerts an equal pressure against the swollen cell and then prevents it and protects it from bursting. So just see the amazing science involved over here. And one more use of the cell wall, right? So thus the cell walls permit plants, fungi and bacteria to withstand this high water content environment or external media without actually bursting. This solution has a name. It's called a hypotonic solution. And you have an easy analogy to remember this. Hippos love splashing around in water. They love water so much, right? So when the water concentration is higher outside the cell, water flows into the cell and makes it look like a hippo. The cell is a hypotonic solution. So you can ask me, can the reverse happen? Yes, of course it can. Why not? So in that case, the solution outside the cell is called a hypertonic solution. It's exactly the opposite of a hypotonic solution. Here the water concentration is more inside a cell. So water will rush outside the cell, make the shell shrivel up and lose its shape. This is exactly what happens when your veggies go stale from being too long in the refrigerator, or after some time they flop because they're losing pressure, specifically turgor pressure.
Yeah, so now we all learnt about different types of cells in different solutions. Actually, types, what happens to a cell in different solutions. So as you can see that in hypertonic, so let me tell you one thing. These all names are given in accordance with the amount of solute. If solute is more, it is known as hypertonic. Solute less, then hypotonic. And if solute is equal, then isotonic. Again, solute is more, hypertonic. Solute is less, hypotonic. And solute is equal, then isotonic. This all terms are relative. I mean, they are more or less or equal with respect to some other thing. I can say that I am as laborious as you, I am more laborious than you, and I am less laborious than you. So if I'm saying that I am laborious, then I am comparing with some of you. So this is what this term is: hypertonic, hypotonic, and isotonic. Hyper means for the given set of cells, the solution is having more solute concentration. More solute means less water, and less water means the water from inside the cell will come out to outside the cell's rings. Then hypotonic. Hypotonic means less solute than that given set of cells. So less solute means more water. As I said, for given volume of solution, solute plus solvent makes the solution. If solute is less, there will be more solvent. So if there is less solvent, then I can simply say that there is more water. So if there is more water outside the cell, it will come inside the cell and the cell will swell up. And iso means equal amount of salt, or you can say solute. So if there is equal solute, means equal solvent as well, and there is no net movement of water from either inside the cell or outside the cell, and that is why the cell shape of cell remains constant. Okay. Now the summary of what we all learned in this passive transport is: passive transport occurs from higher concentration to lower concentration, do not requires energy, and it is of two types: diffusion and osmosis. Diffusion, anything other than water is moving from higher concentration to lower concentration. And in osmosis, it is water which is moving from higher concentration to lower concentration. Got it? Any doubt, children? If there is any doubt, you can ask it to me. Any doubts, children?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, Subhash. Any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, ask it.
Sir, I can't understand that hypotonic and isotonic solution. So that solute.
Hypotonic means less solute, and if there is less solute outside the cell, means there is more water outside the cell. Okay. So if more water is outside the cell, and as compared the cell is having less water, so as I said, water or anything moves from higher concentration to lower concentration. So the water which is higher in that outside part will come inside the cell, from as the movement is from higher to lower, and the cell will swell up. This is what is hypotonic solution. And in isotonic solution, if there is equal amount of salt, if both in inside the cell and outside the cell, then it is known as isotonic mode of isotonic solution, in which there is no net movement of salts or water. Now done with it? Subhasri, is it all fine? Now shall I move on?
Sir, but I can't understand that hypertonic.
Hypertonic. Okay. Hypertonic is again, you can say, the reverse of this hypotonic. In hypertonic solution, there is more solute outside the cell. If I am the cell and if there is more solute outside me, means there is less water. More solute means less water is outside me. So what will happen, that water which is inside me will start to come out. And if my water is coming out, I will get shrinked. And this is what happening in hypertonic mode of solution. Okay. Now, I feel like there is no doubt. Is there any? No? Okay. So now, hypotonic swell, hypertonic shrink. Yeah, Akhil, it's fine. Now let's take up a poll question. So the question is, and again, let me see who answers me the first. The question is that osmosis is a phenomena that helps water molecules cross the gas membrane. It's Arav, which who answered me the first. Only 10 seconds left, children. Try faster, try faster. 7. San, Pranam Tiwari. Okay, San answered. And Jayant. Time up, time up, time up, time up. So the correct answer is semi-permeable. As I said, semi-permeable solute can transfer from either inside or outside. So osmosis is a phenomena in which water molecule cross semi-permeable membrane. It is if it would have been that impermeable, there will be no movement. If it would have been that impermeable membrane, there would be no movement. And so the correct answer is semi-permeable membrane. Now, let's move on to this active transport. So as I said, this much part, you need more energy to cross it. isn't it? So active transport requires energy, and it is just opposite to that of passive transport. Here, you are moving from lower concentration side to higher concentration side, isn't it? But in passive, you were on higher side and coming to that lower end, so it was requiring no energy. But here in reverse, what is happening that you are going from that lower portion to upper portion, the lower concentrated side to higher concentrated side. So the definition to this is the movement of molecules from a region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration against a gradient with the help of external energy. As I said, whenever you are moving against that concentration gradient, you need to give some energy. For example, that taking this pen from lower portion to upper portion, you are going against this gravity, and that's why you need some energy to take it up. While to let it down, you just leave it, and it will comes down of its own. And this is what you call as according to concentration gradient from higher energy to lower energy, it is occurring of its own. But if you are taking it from lower energy to higher energy, you need to give some energy, some external energy, and this is what active transport is. Okay, look over here. So there is active transport in amoeba also. There are two types of movement called endocytosis and exocytosis. So if anything is coming inside, in any cell, if anything is coming inside it, you call it as endocytosis. And if anything is going outside, you call it as exocytosis. Anything coming inside, endocytosis; anything going outside, exocytosis. Got it? So amoeba obtains its nutrition by engulfing bacteria via endocytosis, and it excretes the undigested material via exocytosis. Got it? Now let's summarize about the movement of this active transport in amoeba. Let's have a look over here. So like this, endocytosis, the food particles are getting inside. The food particles are getting inside by engulfing it, and this is known as endocytosis. Okay, these all particles are getting inside the body of this amoeba through a special structure known as pseudopodia. Pseudopodia is false feet, which is actually helping this amoeba to take in the food. The food, when enters inside that amoeba, forms food vacuoles around it, and this food vacuole is the place where this food is getting digested. There are many digestive enzymes which are getting released in this food vacuole, and after this all digestion part, all the important nutrients are absorbed. This is known as absorption. After absorption, all the useful materials are used to gain energy. Okay, I ate a food, I digested it, then I absorbed the required nutrients, and then I used that required nutrients to obtain energy. This is assimilation. Ingestion, digestion, then absorption, then assimilation, utilizing that absorbed food. And after that, all the undigested unwanted food particle can be thrown out of the body, and this is due to a process known as exocytosis. Okay, so this is a process through which all the waste materials are fused out of the cell to the in the external environment. Okay, so any doubts, children, or it is all fine? Okay, so let me summarize what we all learned. So in active transport, we learned that the movement occurs from lower to higher concentration. It requires energy. Again, of two types: endocytosis, exocytosis. If you are taking in something, this is endocytosis. If you are throwing out something, this is known as exocytosis. Got it? Now, again, we are to a doubt board. Any doubts, children? No doubts. Okay, so
Can you show the second last slide?
uh, what did you said? I didn't heard that. Arav?
Sir, can you please show second last slide?
Okay, this part. Yes, Shubhasish, you also have any doubts? Subhasish, do you have any doubts? No? Yeah, Yasan, go on, ask your doubt.
Sir, can you please explain this thing once more? Endocytosis and exocytosis.
Endocytosis and exocytosis. So it is a process of taking in food from external environment. If it is my food and if I eat it, So I will be taking this external, I mean a food from my external environment to inside my body. This would be through a process known as endocytosis. Done. Then after that, if I would take out my undigested and unwanted waste material from my body, this would be known as exocytosis. If I would be a cell, then only these terms are given. Yes, Subhasis. Any doubts?
Okay, sir.
Subhasis, any doubts? No? Okay, okay. So now let's move on to the next part, and let's see what happens when the to the plant if they are not watered properly. Look at this.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, look at this. So if you plant that water that plant, you see that it is all healthy, isn't it? And if you are not watering that plant, you can see that it gets wilted, isn't it? But still, in both the conditions, the cells are of same shape. The plant has changed its shape, but still the cells are of same shape. Why is it so? Is it also because, let me first tell you what is the condition in which this cell actually shrinks, or the plant gets turns into a wilted plant. So there is something called plasmolysis. Now, what is this plasmolysis? Plasmolysis is a condition in which the content of a cell shrinks due to absence of water. If the contents of a cell shrinks due to absence of water,
No,
this is
sir.
known as plasmolysis. Yes. Okay. So plasmolysis is a condition in which the cell content shrinks due to absence of water. Okay. Now, as I said that even though these plant is healthy and this plant is wilted, but the shape of cells are still same. Why is it so? So what enables the cell to maintain that rigid structure and shape even after wilting? So the answer to this is that cell wall. Cell wall is a structure made up of cellulose, and it is a tough structure which actually winds up the whole cell and gives it a rigid shape. Okay, so let me call our master tutor to learn about it in more detail.
Have you ever visited a castle when you were younger, right? Have you seen how many castles are surrounded by tall walls? These walls were very useful in protecting the castle, especially when under attack by enemies. It prevents spies and intruders from entering the compound without permission. And if you compare them to cell walls, they're pretty much the same. The cell wall is a structural protective covering that envelopes the cell beyond the cell membrane. It protects the cell from predators, mechanical stress, and also gives shape to the cell. It also protects the cell from explosion due to the entry of excessive water. So the cell wall bears it all, acts kind of like a pressure regulator that prevents more expansion of the cell once it has the maximum volume. A cell wall is present only in plants. It's not present in animals. Let's talk about algal and plant cell walls, because both of them are composed of the polysaccharide cellulose as the major component. Have you ever visited a castle?
Move on to the summary part. The summary of what we all learned today from our master tutor. So we all learned about this plant cell, and yeah, I'm coming to you. Yeah, San, I'm coming to you. So cell wall. Cell wall has mainly 5 features as described here. So it is the protective layer of the plant cell. It provides mechanical strength and support. It is freely permeable. Only permeable. Anything can go in and go out of the cell. As I said, now we will be discussing about it in later, as I said in the beginning of the session, when I was talking about that 4 types of membranes. Okay. So it is freely permeable. Anything can get in or get out of that cell wall. And as it is rigid, it prevents the cell from bursting. And this plant cell wall is made up of cellulose. Okay. Yes, San. Now your doubt.
Sir, as you said earlier, cell wall is made up of cellulose. So, sir, cellulose contains glucose or starch.
Okay. Something again which is not at your level, but yeah, I can say that this cellulose is made up of not that of glucose. It is something different from I mean glucose. There are some different types of glucose units which are linked together to form that cellulose. Okay.
So, yes, sir.
Yeah. Now again, let's move on to the next part. So there is something difference in between this animal cells and plant cells. Animal cells have cell membrane as the outermost layer, isn't it? These have cell membranes as the outermost layer, but in case of plant, there is a layer other than, above that cell membrane, and that is known as cell wall. Okay, so cell wall is a layer present in plant cell, while in animal cell the outermost layer is this cell membrane. Got it? Now it's time to take up your doubts. So any doubts, children? Any doubts? No.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Now let me tell you, there are some other organisms also which have cell walls. Okay, like fungus. In fungus, the cell wall is made up of chitin. In algae, the cell wall is made up of cellulose. In bacteria, also there is cell wall. It is made up of peptidoglycan. Yeah, Yasan, again, you doubt?
Sir, these are all unicellular, right?
No, it's not like only unicellular is having cell wall. Plants, they are multicellular. Fungus, again, there is only one fungus which is unicellular, that is yeast. All other fungus are multicellular. So it's not like that only unicellular are having that cell wall. Okay. Now it's time for us to revise all the concepts that we all learned, and then if the time allows, we'll be take up one poll question and then end up the session. So we all learned about the cell. In the cell, we first talked about this outer layer. So outer layer in plant is cell wall, and in animal it is cell membrane. Okay, other than plant, there is fungus, there is algae, there is bacteria, which also has cell wall, and this is freely permeable. While cell membrane is present in all the cells, but it is the outermost layer only in animal cells and several other organisms also. And this cell membrane is semi-permeable. But as I said, in detail, when you will be talking about, you will call the cell membrane as selectively permeable. Got it? Then the transport part. So there are again two types of transport, active and passive. If it requires energy, then it is active. Doesn't require energy, then it is passive. Again, in active, transport occurs from lower concentration site to higher concentration site. In passive, transport occurs from higher concentration site to lower concentration site. Again, types of solution. Three types: hypertonic, hypotonic, isotonic. Hyper, higher salt, cell shrink. Hypo, lower salt, cell swells. And iso, equal salt or equal solute, no change in the cells. Now, any doubts, children? Any doubts in what all we all studied today?
No, sir.
Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, now we'll be taking up one poll question. And at last, let's see who answers me the first in this last question, and then we'll be winding up. The question is, which of the following pair of organisms possess cell wall? Yeah, this is, oh, no. Yeah, this is San who answered me the first. Others, have a try. This is the last question. Give it a try. All of you have got it right till now. Yeah, what about you, Pranav? Okay, Subhasri is left, Jayant is left, and Subhasis is left. Pranav also answered okay. Okay, what about you, Subhasri, Jayant, and Subhasish? Your time is running up, running out. Jayant, jaldi. Answer fast. Okay, the correct answer is this is grass and cactus, as this is the only group in which both of them are plants. Here, animal is cheetah, do not have cell wall. Lion, tiger, both are animals, do not have cell wall. Leopard also doesn't have cell wall. So it was an easy one. Okay. So now, children, it's time for me to wave you all bye-bye. And again, come back to this learning app and practice more and more questions. The more you learn, the more you practice, the more you learn. Okay. And yeah, sorry for this background noises. Now again, it's me, Atul Kumar, waving all bye-bye. Good night, children. Bye.